Today, we're going to be talking about Hyperscape tips for beginners, and technically we're all beginners, right? I mean, this game is still in the open beta, so right now every single one of us are beginners unless you're a developer that's been playing the game for months or you've been playing this game non-stop since the beta came out. Then this video just about applies to every single person. Let's jump into it. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to support it further, be sure to scroll down, give this video a like. Let's try and hit 150 likes on today's video. And if you're currently not subscribed to the channel, it's 100% free, it supports me, and it keeps you up to date with my future Hyperscape videos. So be sure to do that as well if you haven't already. But now with that out of the way, let's jump into the first tip beginners need to know for Hyperscape. So the first tip I want to talk about is fusing up or upgrading your weapon or hack instantly reloads the weapon and it instantly charges the hack up for you to go straight back into the battle. Now, instead of reloading your weapon, if the same exact weapon is next to you on the floor and you pick that up, then it will instantly reload your current weapon so you can start shooting straight away. And that's the same with the hacks. Even if you've got your weapon or hack fully fused, then you can still do this technique. As you can see here with this example using the hex fire, the hex fire takes quite a long time to reload, but if you have a hex fire next to you, you can just pick up that hex fire and it will immediately be reloaded for you and you can go straight back into the gunfight. And that's the same for hacks. As you guys can see here with the armor, I've popped my armor, I see the same armor next to me, so what I do is I pick that armor up and I've instantly charged up my ability. So every time you've popped your ability and you run past the same exact ability, I recommend picking that up. It will cancel your current ability and then just pop it again so you can go double the time that you usually could if you didn't use this technique. Of course, you have to have the same weapon or the same hack next to you, but when you use things such as invisibility or even armor, you tend to be running away quite a lot and usually you'll stumble across the same hack next to you, and if you do, then be sure to use this technique. It might work out for you. Now the next tip I want to talk about is the fastest way to move in this game. If you want to get from A to B, what is the fastest technique to use with the movement that's currently in this game? Well, the funny thing is, in my first few games that I ever played on Hyperscape, I was using the run and slide technique that I used in Apex Legends. If you've played Apex Legends before, then you'll know the best way to move in that game is to run, slide, run, then slide again. And that would be the fastest way to maneuver from point A to point B. Well, this game is different. If you use the jump slide technique, it's much faster than just doing the slide run, and I'll tell you guys why. So every time you're in the air and when you land you go straight into a slide, you'll slide a much greater distance than you would if you were already on the floor running and then go into a slide. So that's why the jump slide technique is much faster than just running and sliding. The second reason is because if you do just slide and running, then you have to wait about a second until you can slide again. There's a slight momentum break, and that's something that jump slide hasn't got. So you can jump as much as you want in this game and there'll be no momentum break. There'll be nothing to slow you down. The way to do this is really easy. You just want to make sure you're pressing the slide button just before you cause impact with the floor. If you land onto the floor and then slide, then you'll just be doing it as if you were running. So that's why you want to be pressing the slide button just as you're about to land on the floor, and then you'll be able to get that extra boost and you'll be able to go much faster as well. So the next thing I want to talk about is the little skull counter you guys see when you eliminate a player in the middle of your screen. Now, I didn't even know this existed, weirdly enough, bearing in mind it's in the middle of my screen. I'm so focused on the enemies around me that I didn't even know this was in the game, but this essentially tracks how many enemies you've eliminated in one single team. Now, because enemies don't go down in this game like they do with the other battle royales, it's very hard to determine how many enemies are left on that one team. You don't know if you've killed two enemies on the same team or if you've just killed two enemies on two different teams. But if you pay attention to this little tracker in the middle of your screen, every time you've eliminated a player, you can see if you need to be wary of the enemy's teammates because they're likely going to be nearby, and you can also see if you've eliminated the full team and it's safe to loot up that area. Gosh, I feel like such a noob for not even knowing this was on my screen and it was right in front of me. Let's move on. Now the next thing I want to talk about are the hacks. Now you can actually counter counter other people's hacks with your own hacks in this game. Now I want to talk about invisibility and reveal. So these two can actually be countered depending on who uses the ability last. If you pop your invisibility hack and the enemy pops reveal after, then they can see you on their screen, but vice versa, if the enemy pops reveal and then you pop invisibility after, then you're going to turn invisible to the enemy. So whoever pops the ability last is going to get a counter. That's how this works, and invisibility is quite a popular option at the moment. So if you're going to use invisibility quite often, then you need to know this tip. Mines are also very popular, and I believe that mines can actually track enemies whilst they're invisible. So if you're a mine player and you pick up mines quite often, then when someone turns invisible, you can use the mine to track where they're located, and that will give you a rough guide on where to go to track the enemy down for when their invisibility disappears. Or if you want, you can shoot at where you think the enemy's located. The mine should help you track their location. Now the last tip I want to speak about is quite an obvious one, but because of how OP snipers are in this game, and if you haven't played this game yet, oh boy, you're in for a treat when you find out how crazy the sniping is in this game. And this tip is you can also slightly move left and right when you're restoring enemies, so be sure to do that as well when you're trying to restore your teammates. And if you do this while standing still, that split second will give snipers the opportunity to land a sweet headshot on you, and that will be you eliminated. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I wanted to bring you guys a quick video letting you know some beginner tips to get you in the game as quick as possible and understand how this game works. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to scroll down, give this video a like, be sure to subscribe, all of that good stuff down below. And I will be doing a part 2 to this video. I might turn this into a little series, who knows? But nonetheless, thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll catch all of you guys out in another brand new Hyperscape video.